Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss, Andrew, Carl, back in the building. Episode 198. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's Gucci?
We back.
What's up?
What's good, fellas?
You know, happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
You know what I'm saying?
Happy Father's Day.
Good
Happy Pride Month.
It's a lot going on.
Is it still Pride Month?
Yeah.
June
Whole
goes
month
for
of June.
30 days.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know when Pride Month even fell.
You said still, though.
I mean,
that would indicate that you knew that it was
to
occurring.
me, I didn't know if it would happen last month or if it was this
Your
month.
words aren't matching
No, it's different month.
your logic.
The gays get the best month, so to speak.
Okay.
Start of summer.
It's got to be a 31 day to be the best.
Would that make it there with that?
June's 30.
Okay.
I'm saying it's got to be a 31 day month to be the best month, right? I mean, that's the way I would look at it.
I guess I was just thinking like just the season that it's in.
Kickoff.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. What you know?
No football, though.
No football.
Like, literally, the only plus you got for June is the weather.
Not sure too
Can you
many gays worry about football.
If Pride Month was it?
What's his name,
football, though?
Who's that?
The defensive end?
Sam.
No, the white dude.
Carl.
Crosby.
Carl.
Your boy, Nassib.
Nassib. Yeah, Carl Nassib.
Yeah.
Why am I saying Crosby? I'm thinking of somebody.
Carl Crosby.
Carl Crosby. That sounds like a guy, but it's
Crosby?
Max Crosby is the guy.
Max Crosby is what I was
both defensive ends.
Max Crosby is a
Carl
wild.
Nassib is the dude.
Well,
that
they're
came
both
out.
wild boys. Different wild.
Came out with the
Different
video.
type
He
of
was
wild.
like, "Hey, well, I'm gay. Just like yo, what the fuck, dude? You could have kept that shit to yourself. Nobody really cares that much."
Interesting time.
Yeah, weird. But imagine if that shit was during football season, like the uniforms the NFL will cook up for the players to wear.
Pink joints. All purple Vikings.
The brown shit will be wild, huh?
During breast cancer.
That's true.
Yeah, so they do the pink shit already.
The brown.
The brown shit will be wild. I don't know how they would
Why
approach
would the Browns not be wild?
I'm just saying, bro.
Take me there.
I don't want to. It's not really my
I was
lane.
thinking rainbows, and then you would.
No, the Browns, bro. That's got to be the represent. It's got to be the team that represents.
Can't see nobody's uniforms and be like, yo, that's hard. Like, nah. Use a different
It ain't hard. You can't use hard this month.
Say it looks cool.
You know, they replace the name on the back with like bottom. So
That's stupid.
just saying, the Browns are never top of anything. So it's like they got to be the bottom of that situation.
I think it's a decent idea.
Yeah.
Whoever is last in the division.
For the rest of the season, like
If you're in second in the division, it says side on the back. I don't know what we got for third, but menage a trois.
yeah, maybe. So that might be the lucky person out of it.
That's nuts. So what y'all do this weekend, man? This past week.
I didn't go to sleep last night, and I think I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm going to be honest with you. I might not sleep again. I think I'm better without sleep.
That sounds dangerous.
So I might never sleep again. I'm kind of considering it.
Worth a try. Well, no, how many concurrent days you can get out of that, but the first one look like you good.
Right?
You look like you good,
Right? I appreciate you.
Is there any reason you're taking this apart?
Nah, there really wasn't. I was watching TV last night. I couldn't.
Binge watching All American.
I wasn't anywhere close to tired. And I kind of had a lot of shit it was on my mind. I was like, it's midnight. I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow. We're not working. So who cares what happens tonight? I'll just stay up till I fall asleep.
Stay up late.
So it was midnight. I actually went for a walk. Came back home, took a shower, put All American back on, finished that joint.
Well, that's dangerous, man. You got to have one of those vests, one of those safety vests if you think
I did make sure I wore
snatch weave up or something? Snatch weave up.
No, I'm just saying, driving on the side of the road and shit.
I wore a day carrying bright ass green shirt on purpose. I wasn't trying to be stupid, but I was like,
you need one of them reflective vests, man, if you're going to do that often.
Yeah, I don't plan to do that very often. I'll be honest, like this is not like any kind of bad neighborhood by any means, but I'm walking around at midnight with my headphones on. I was like, I don't even know if I want my headphones in right now.
That's just weird.
Kind of just want to go like one headphone at this point. It's a little weird. I keep looking over my shoulder and shit.
You just never know, man.
It was good. I felt good. Get out, clear your head, get some air. Came back, finished my show, watched another movie at like 5 o'clock. I watched another one at 7. Went and got some Mickey D's. Yeah, it was a good day today.
You know, you went and got some McDonald's on a late night.
I got it at 7 o'clock this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before the next.
So you got
movie
that
started.
fresh breakfast.
I did. It wasn't nobody in there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's kind of fire.
Y'all ever seen Unbroken? It's a war movie.
I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
Fire.
What is it?
Fire. World War II. They're fighter pilots and the plane goes
I
down.
don't think I've been really big on war movies.
I'm not. I mean, there's some that I like a lot, but I don't usually like go out of my way to watch one.
Right.
I mean, some are really, really good, though.
Most of them are.
I've heard
to
like
be
300
honest.
and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, the
300 is a little mythical. It is a war movie, but
yeah, that's not the same. I
more
think
like a historical depiction of something.
the 300 is supposed to be historical depiction, right? But
Yeah,
it is
like a
exaggerated.
stylized
Nobody actually
version.
knows. Yeah, I like what was it that was like Hacksaw Ridge or some shit like that.
I was gonna watch that after I finished this joint.
Oh, that's
I was like,
that's
this
awesome.
shit is so
But
fun.
you know that dude is that dude's from here.
Yeah,
That movie's based on.
I do remember
based
hearing
off
that
of.
actually.
So that's pretty cool in itself.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch that like within the next couple nights. Now, kind of in the mood for some good war movies. This dude he got captured in a Japanese POW camp,
Oh wow!
so it was wild.
Interesting.
Yo,
That's gotta suck, man.
for real.
So
Other
you
than
can't
that,
join the
though,
army, man.
what's that?
So you can't join the army.
It's one way. to
Increases
look at it.
chances of shit like that.
Certainly does.
Right now, mine is like at a zero.
Yeah,
As soon as you join the army, it's like at least a 10%, right?
it's gotta
shit
be
like that to happen.
Gotta be a solid jump in percentage chance that you die.
Solid jump.
I was never a military guy. Never had any interest. And at one point in time, I remember learning about the draft for the first time. And it was not like a forefront of my mind. I got to figure out how to avoid this. But I was like, yo, if that ever happens, I'm going to figure out something.
For sure, right? I'm not going. Would you do draft or prison time? Like, would you do your...
I would probably do the draft.
If the draft was like, you're for sure having to go to war when you're drafted, would you not, I can possibly finagle my way into a fucking
might take the
test?
time.
I don't think...
2 years in prison or...
2 years.
You got to do 2 years. That's what that's what they sentenced Muhammad Ali to. I can't remember
Well, I was
exactly.
told from y'all I got flat feet, so I wouldn't make the cut anyway.
This has been clear off of his mind since he learned
I was
about
told
his
that,
flat
I was like,
feet.
oh, for real? Oh, it's crazy. I didn't know that was a qualification.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, can't have flat feet, but
You got to
have
go
arching
straight
foot.
war or prison.
I would rather go to war.
I'm going to do my 2.
I just can't imagine I can't imagine like a real life choice that could possibly happen that I would choose prison over whatever the other thing was.
I mean, if it's possible death on the other side, it's not.
Death in
Man, I see
prison.
how these prisons be living now. It don't look that bad.
Some of them not that bad.
Like,
And
if you got you a little paper like stats, like you might be all right.
you probably be all right. I can make it through 2 years. For
It's
sure.
kind of like
Yeah, but if I go to prison, I gotta go AB,
what you mean with that?
the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah, right. That's true.
I don't really want to do this. I just got the hair grow out.
Yeah, you got to skin your shit for sure.
Yeah. So
I know a few member affiliates. I can be like, yeah, I'm with y'all today. I could be cool. I could be cool.
Which car you jumping in? You blood gang or crip gang?
I know some cuz.
Yeah,
I mean, I know stuff from both sides. Like, I probably
right.
depends on who come up first.
I'll probably have to give up the bacon for a couple years.
That probably be the realest one though.
Join
For
the
real.
brothers for real.
that's 100% what you do.
Probably. I got the beard and shit going
They
on
probably
already.
the
You know,
most solid for sure. The Muslims don't play.
motherfucking praying 2-3 times a
They
day
don't
and
fucking
shit.
play them.
I got a $10 bet with somebody else, so you're gonna do that in the next 5 years without going to prison.
Oh, really? You think so?
I don't really have that bet, but
Oh, no,
it would be funny though if I had a bet on you going Muslim.
No plans on going Muslim anytime soon, but I will probably join over with the brothers. Some shit.
I think I'm going to war. Yeah, I think I'm going to
Good
war.
luck to you, dog. For sure.
Appreciate you. Thank me as well when I get back.
So he shows the biggest game.
Yeah, right.
I get it. Well, yeah, I had a pretty eventful weekend. Did a couple things. Went to the Clubhouse Saturday. Watched a little comedy show.
How was that?
Boy, Huggy Lowdown was there.
Who?
Huggy Lowdown from the used to be on Tom Jordan. Huggy.
Oh, okay.
Huggy
No.
Lowdown.
That's wild. I
You
did
don't
not
know
know
that?
this
What
was
does he look
going
like?
I don't remember.
Dark skinned dude, beard. He's kind of tall, actually. We met him at the show. He's a pretty tall dude, about 6'4", 6'5", kind of tall.
Oh, no, I got to see him.
Yeah. I never really seen his face that much because I remember listening to him on the radio. He used to have a little spot on the radio before Steve Harvey, the Tom Jones shit.
Yeah.
He was on Tom Jones show.
What did you say his name was?
Huggy Lowdown. He's pretty funny, though. It was a cool little joint. Two people, he had two guests.
Hard to trust a dude with Lowdown in his name.
I was expecting some dirtier jokes with the name Lowdown, but, he kept it pretty chill.
His name is Huggy.
Yeah.
I don't know, it kind of cancels each other out as far as how dirty you're going to go.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was cool.
I was just seeing if I'd ever seen him in.
I don't recognize him. That's legit, though.
It was solid. Not too bad.
That was Saturday, you said?
Man, a good comedy show is really unmatched.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older.
Yeah.
This is great. Like, you have a fantastic time.
It's a good chill event. Some good food, couple drinks.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
Good laughs. What more can you ask for? It's a good night.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I get so fucked up before the comedy show. It's like you're going to have a hard time not making me laugh.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Gotta be a little
I assume the majority of the crowd is that way.
Yeah, right. It's like if you get booed, you really suck.
You suck.
This is a comedy club. Like, motherfuckers are drunk. You know what I'm saying? They have food and shit. Everybody should be in a good spot already.
I can see it being...
There's always one.
Yeah, it's like... tension's not the right word I want to use, but I feel like drunk people could turn on you quick too.
That's true.
Oh, for sure.
Like you say something that's pretty funny and they like don't fully understand the angle and they're like, yo, fuck this dude.
What the fuck you talking about up there? It's one of those and then just do the whole shit.
I guess it only takes one.
Yeah.
Turn the crowd.
The buttons are high one way or the other.
During the show, like this is the one lady that was like kind of like almost at the very front in front of him, kept coughing through the show and shit. And he kept like addressing it and making a little joke out of it. But then like towards the end, it kind of got a little egregious. Like, oh yeah, you might need to like
you gotta go.
Step out for a little bit. Like you coughing like a lot. Yeah, it was one of them.
That's why I missed the COVID times. They would have kicked that bitch out.
Yeah. He made a joke kind of like that. I got a couple more y'all, like one more cough left. We would have to make some arrangements so that. And they laughed at it, but it's like, come on, go.
Safer environment out here.
Why you decide to sit in the front when you got this cough tonight?
Yeah,
like, chill out.
You can't ruin everybody else's show.
Yeah,
you gotta go.
That was the only little blip. Most of the night was pretty good.
That sounds pretty legit.
Pretty good.
How was Sunday? Father's Day.
Sunday was good. I went to eat. Papagayo, couple drinks, kind of the same type of vibe. Ate some good Mexican food.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was about it.
Sounds good.
Big chill. Chill.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were going to go out to eat, but I was like, fuck that. I wanted to fire the grill up and shit. So
it's always good.
Got on the grill, man. Did some steaks, some chicken and hot dogs for the kids and stuff. And, made up some sides and stuff like that. We ate good yesterday. So
that's what's up. Y'all went to that baseball game Saturday?
Yeah. Hillcats game. I thought that was cool. The kids
Hillcats
like
are
that
fun
shit.
to go to. Like, no matter who you are. If you just with a group like our age, you just want to go get a picture and sit out there for a while, it's fun. If you want to take the kids, it's fun for them to sit there and watch.
They got a lot of shit there for the kids to do. I mean, concessions at games are crazy, bro. Especially you spend
not bad.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's like I could have went and sat in the restaurant.
Well, that's how they make their money.
100%.
You're hungry and thirsty out there.
I could be mad at tickets. The tickets were free for us to go or whatever. So it's like, why not?
They give away so many free tickets.
Yeah.
I think that really is the game plan. It's like, come on in.
Yeah.
You don't be here for 3 hours. Do what you want to do.
Yeah,
we don't charge you.
Just fill the stands. Y'all going to have to get some concessions. At the very least.
I mean, that's the first thing people do. You at least going to get a drink while you're in there.
100%. Yeah, you're sitting out there for a few hours in the summer.
Yeah, so we did that. That was cool, man. The kids love it. Just doing stuff like that. So hopefully we can, get in some more baseball games or, something like that in the future, for sure.
We used to go up there when I was in college, and it was something like $5 pitchers of beer on like Tuesday nights or something like that. Like it was a crazy low price. And we would just go sit out in the picnic tables out towards the outfield.
Yeah.
Mad pitchers. There was like 8 of us. It was so much fun. He had a couple of those really, Andrew Bragg.
Right.
He'd come out there with us. You know how loud that motherfucker is. Get some drinks in him too. He's screaming at everybody.
Yeah, I ain't never seen Bragg drunk. I'm pretty sure that shit would be fucking hilarious.
That's one of
because he was wild without drinking. Just a wild boy.
I can't believe you've never been around him drinking. That's hilarious.
I don't think I have. Like I ain't really been around him since high school, really like that.
Yeah,
so I ain't never seen him of age brag.
We partied a lot with him while we had just got into college, and he was in high school, just coming to hang out.
Oh wow.
That's
but
funny. I can see it though. For sure.
Hellcats are fire.
Good shit.
Anything else from this week before we get into some topics?
Not really. That's
Nothing.
Nothing, man. Move forward.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything either.
Any more shit?
Last week when we recorded, we tried to warn you. We told you ahead of time that Monday night was going to be the last game of the finals, and it was.
You know, we had been wrong the past few weeks.
We had been. We finally got one.
We finally
got one.
That's pretty hard. No, pretty easy to call, you said.
Yeah. Be completely honest. I don't remember anything about that game. That was a full week ago, and it felt like such a foregone conclusion. It wasn't like I was watching that game super tuned into every play. I watched the game, but like it wasn't one I was really.
To be honest, it was kind of like almost the whole finals for real.
Yeah, no, what?
Mine's like maybe the first 2 games, maybe. After that, it was like I would watch it, but not really be watching it.
Yeah, I'd be doing something else.
Because you know what was up.
Yeah, it was like
it's like even though the Heat battled.
They did
that game. They did.
They battled pretty much every game besides the one that got blown out.
Pretty much every game but one. They fought, but it's just like
it wasn't the final score. It ended up being pretty much a blowout.
The last one?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think did they win by like 15 or 10, 15 points, something like that?
Probably around there. Or something like that.
I think a lot of the games went like that, or maybe it was closer than that, but I can't remember exactly what the final score was.
5.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it was a lot of back and forth, like, especially like just throughout the game. Kyle Lowry, he was hitting like some crazy 3-pointers right there. Like they were trying, but at no point did I think though.
They didn't put your boy in.
It's a fatal flaw. To me, that's going to be the fatal flaw of there.
Because they ain't put him in on the elimination game.
It made me think of that.
He ain't played in 6 weeks.
You're not really thinking he would have made that much of a difference.
But you needed a hero.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
At that time.
All right, you
needed a hero. It made me think of that Nas song.
I swear, I think he's been setting that up for like 6 weeks.
He has. He was waiting to drop that one.
Yeah. Hero, though, right? Hey, yo, hero, though, right? Yeah, just keep refreshing it like once a week.
Yeah.
I got it.
They needed
a hero.
They needed to be rescued. And, Eric Spoelstra decided not to send their Superman out there. And
Tyler wasn't saving them home.
Now he's their Superman.
He was not going.
Man, they about to wrap him up in a trade package this offseason talking about that Superman. He definitely might real facts.
Sure. That doesn't make him not what he is when he goes to the next franchise.
That speaks to your point that he's an asset.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I got you.
That's great. Leave it an asset, and that's where it stops.
I'm just saying, bro. They
definitely could be an asset to any team.
They clearly needed him out there. You see how streaky
they need a lot more than him.
Jimmy Butler was. He started making some shots, I think, in the fourth quarter. But
I do remember
he was
that.
Terrible
now that you say that,
up until that point.
Because I said something because he was like,
I think he was like
giving the ball up a lot,
16 or something.
Yeah, I might say something like Jimmy was like shying away from the shit right now, and then he started turning it on like literally.
He made like 2 shots or something.
I think he scored 11 straight for his team.
Yeah,
in the fourth.
But then he took some bad shots down the stretch
trying to keep the
and I was like, man, you gotta kind of know when to hit that button and kind of when to just, because I was watching it and I was like, all right, Jimmy, now's not the time to be aggressive. Now it's time look to get somebody else involved. But he ended up trying to put up a shot that was just a bad look, and they turned the ball over or something like that. But I mean, it was too much to expect the Heat to beat the Nuggets, man. I mean, it's just outmatched.
100%. But I mean, we said that going into every single series that they went into. I think the difference.
But this was different, though. I mean,
it ended different, so sure, I wouldn't disagree with that. But I think the difference is all the other teams they played were good. Like they were the top of the East that they went through. But once Giannis went down, obviously that's a huge problem for the Bucks offense. Knicks offense looked bad the whole postseason.
Right.
And Boston had a couple of games at the beginning where those threes weren't dropping, so their offense wasn't clicking. And you know Miami's going to play good defense regardless, but we were talking about it last week. That Nuggets offense is just too potent with Jokic the way that he is.
Yeah, and
you got to double if you don't want him to score, and if you double, he's dropping a dime every time.
The fucked up thing is that he played good defense in that final game, in Game 5. Like, the score was relatively low.
Yeah,
like the entire game. Yeah. They were playing, both sides were playing like great defense, but it just doesn't matter because it's like.
It just seemed like every run that Miami would go on,
it didn't
Nuggets
matter.
would double back with their
Right. It didn't matter.
So,
like, because you're not going to sit here and they're a great offensive team and eventually they're going to find some buckets. You're not going to stop that because they move the ball around. Like, it's not just them waiting for somebody to get hot. They're getting the ball to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when, you know, the trouble
arises. Guys, you got one guy having a triple-double, the other guy having a double-double.
Yeah.
And one game, they both had a triple-double.
Right.
It's like, what you going to do about that?
We're both close to 30 points in that as well.
It's just like, it's just nothing you could do about that at all.
Yeah, and then when Gordon getting off, he'd have found his role on the team.
Yeah,
he blocking people's shots and shit and coming down with the rebound at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit where it's like, all right, we're done.
This your season.
Yeah, right.
Bruce Brown giving you 21 off the bench. The fuck?
Right.
What you going to do about that shit?
I didn't notice until the postseason how much of a bully Gordon plays like.
Yeah.
Like his style of game is he's not going to shoot it outside of 5 feet, and he'll catch it out of. That's right. He'll take some threes. He'll take some threes if he's wide open, but he catches it all the way out of the 3-point line. You used to like seeing a dude that scores that tight within the basket to only hang around there. He'll catch that ball out of the 3 and just go straight shoulder at you, like kind of in a back you down motion. Just push the motherfucker completely out of the screen, whoever it was.
That's what you like though, because it's a motherfucker who know they big.
Sure.
Right? It's like, give me the ball. I know I have the mismatch. And there's so many times where it's like a guy will get the ball and look around for the passes. Like, what are you doing? You have the mismatch. Take this ball. Like, he's relentless with it. He doesn't fade away when he's backing somebody down. He doesn't do that stupid fade away shit. It's going right into their chest. And when you have that kind of mismatch, he's going to finish in the paint. So
yeah, he was doing that 4-guard and Bam set lineup. Then they tried to incorporate Kevin Love in there. I was like, yo, Kevin Love is fucking food.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Like he's food.
Not
there,
gonna happen. This isn't the answer, and that is kind of when you run into the depth issues that they had at that point. But congrats to the Nuggets. Good season for them.
Yeah, they did it.
What do y'all think about Joker at the end of the game? Any reaction to that?
At the end of the game,
just
after the game?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny at first.
Yeah,
and then the media got annoying about it, in my opinion. But I think that about basically every media narrative. Like it got to a point that every day there was another thing. It was like, oh, he left the MVP trophy in the locker room. Jokic doesn't care. He doesn't care about basketball. Just wants to get to his horses. I'm like, we know. We've heard this story 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
But I thought seeing him at the parade afterwards was like even cooler.
Yeah, it seemed like he had a lot more fun at that time.
Ball.
I don't think
he was like... It was weird when he was like, oh, damn, we got to go to the parade. I want to go. I was like, dog, you going to go to this parade, have a fucking time of your life. Like, why are you acting like this going to be such a burden on you because it's the end of the season? And then obviously you showed him having a fucking ball.
They finally got him to like lighten up and shit. Yeah. And it's probably one of the things where, again, he didn't feel like work. It was one of those days off where he just happened to be, with his teammates and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Him. Is why he probably.
That's what it's really all about. You celebrating with your teammates. Y'all went through this whole season and made it to the chip and won.
Well, I mean, I thought that's what was weird. Like after they won, he didn't celebrate really at all.
Zero.
Like he's the only one shaking hands with the Heat players and stuff. Like
not even a smile.
Regular end of the game type shit. He goes over there, he sees his family, he hugs them, like, and then he's giving an interview, and he's just like, "Well, the job is done." No, don't crack a smile or anything. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, when is the parade? Thursday. Fuck.
Yeah, right. He really looked stressed about that. When they said that shit, like, he legit looked like, oh, fuck no, man. I made plans. Like,
I think his horse was actually racing in a race.
Oh, okay.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So it didn't end up matter. Like, I ended up seeing a bunch of stuff where he was out at the horse races. But when he was on the parade joint and they gave him the microphone and he was like, I did not want to go to parade. I want to fucking parade.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is hilarious.
I think somebody recently told a story about him. It was like, I think it was IT. That recently told a story about it.
Was that Thomas?
Yeah. He was like, we went into the locker room at halftime. And he was saying like I think we were down or something, and the coach is talking strategy. All the players are kind of looking like what we got to do next and all this stuff. He's like, "Yo, I'm looking at this dude Joker. He's in the corner playing a fucking game on his phone, like a little kid game." I'm like, "Yo, this dude don't really like basketball. He's just so good at it. Like he just fucking elite at it, but he don't give a fuck about basketball."
That's
He's like, to me, he was like,
about that.
In America, it's crazy for somebody to have that mind state because it's so important to American basketball players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just stereotype with very little knowledge, but that personality of Eastern European is kind of like in TV is always like this.
Yeah, for the most part.
There's just like no emotion. Like I'm thinking of like Russians and shit like that. Like it just seems to be kind of how they are, but
yeah.
I don't know. That's what I get from TV.
It was interviewing Michael Porter Jr. or whatever about it. It was like, yeah, and like practice and shit, like Jokic be fucking playing around and shit. Like he never takes practice serious at all. He just run there for fucking around. And then game time comes and he's like triple double beast out here. Like what the fuck?
Well, he was saying that somebody was like he couldn't figure out why somebody wasn't starting over him in practice. I forgot. Well, some not a bum player, but a decent player or whatever. It's like I couldn't figure out why this dude. I'm like, yo, this dude's a player. Like he could. And everybody was like, just wait till we get in the game. It's different when we get in the game.
He was starting. Why Jokic was starting.
When he first got there, he couldn't understand why somebody wasn't starting over Jokic. I can't remember what the player's name was.
Or something.
Yeah, something like that. And he was like, I couldn't figure out why he wasn't starting over Jokic. And everybody was like, just wait till we get in the game, man.
They were just watching practice.
Turns it on.
That's funny.
It's a funny dude, man. I do like his personality and stuff like that because, I don't know, it's just different, I
feel about Coach Malone, shots he was taking with the Lakers and shit.
That's my dog.
That's everybody's uncle now.
He just came on. He came on the podcast that I listened to last week, like right before the finals had started, and he was a super cool dude. And since I was already hoping that they were going to win, seeing him have like this much personality after the win, I was a little bit surprised by it. I think he's a cool dude.
Was this his first championship though as a head coach?
Yeah.
Hey,
Nuggets
live it up.
Nuggets too.
Yeah. Right. Overall.
Oh, right.
The Nuggets.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
And first time in the finals. All that first time.
He was gone on that parade.
He was off there. He was off there.
I thought I noticed the night when they won, it looked like he had the hat on kind of cocked to the side. And I was like, maybe, people patting him on the head and stuff. And then he went to the parade, he had it the same way. I was like, oh no, this dude's gangster.
But that's the sign of an old drunk black man. That's what when the black man is drunk at the cookout or something.
The hat go to the side.
Moves around.
When
the hat go to the side, he saw stuff.
The more turned it is, the more turned it on.
By the time he sleep, that shit in front of his face. You know what I'm saying? That shit over his eyes.
It's a wrap.
By the time he go to sleep, bro. That's just, I already knew what time it was. Like, okay.
Your boy, he had some comments, took a little shots at Bron. Well, the GM kind of said the shots, and then he kind of doubled down on it, calling him LeBron's daddy. And
I didn't see that part.
Yeah. They saying he was LeBron's daddy, owned the Lakers and all this.
I would love him even more.
I think LeBron was overseas at the time of year doing his soccer shit. He'd be on his little teams and shit. But he had a little comment he made. He said, I've been in Europe for the last few weeks, minding my business, and I hear I'm on your mind that much, huh? I mean, I guess I see why, but wave the flag on these lames. Please make being player cool again, because the lane machine is at an all-time high. Enjoy your light, but just know I'm the sun. I stay on forever.
Is that what LeBron said?
Yeah.
Ooh, burn.
I thought it was funny. It's like
the last line was good.
That was good.
The lane machine is at an all-time high is a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah. Enjoy the light, but I'm the sun.
Hope you can make it player again, because the lane machine is...
Well, I'm trying to get some bars off a little bit. But I did think it was kind of odd how they was taking like a lot of direct shots at the Lakers.
Yeah, what's up with the?
It's like y'all
LeBron
ain't just beat
beef?
the Lakers, y'all beat the Heat. Like what we talking about? But
Well, they got talked about when they beat the Heat.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you want
The light was on the Nuggets. You know, he made the comment about not getting any attention while they were up 2-0 on the Lakers.
At some point, it's got to be some type of like self-reflection on the scenario. Like, yeah, they was talking about the Lakers and LeBron, like, because it's the Lakers and LeBron. Like, Nuggets, you ain't never been to the finals, never been in that position. Like, you ain't the hype to talk about in the media during that time. Lakers just beat the fucking Grizzlies and the Warriors going into the finals. They gonna be talking about the Lakers more than they talking about y'all. It was almost like the same side on with us. Like, everybody was trying to hype up the Celtics and Lakers meeting in the fucking finals. Like, that's what everybody wanted to see. And when it didn't happen, it's like, oh, damn, okay. Guess we got to watch this game now. And we seen with that finals, it was like, all right, it was cool, I guess. I think it's very, like, the Heat Celtics Eastern Conference Finals was way better than the finals we had with the last two teams. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is.
Yeah, y'all should have got past, so we could have had a better finals.
Sure.
But I understand what you're saying.
It's like they was coming at LeBron a lot, like it was LeBron's fault while the media was talking about them. It's like, no, it's the fucking Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
If you're the I get what you're saying. Yeah. That's not like the logistics make sense. I'm not going to argue with anything that you said. But if you're the team that is in the playoffs making your run and you're not being talked about, I would take that person.
I ain't mad at Dave. I ain't mad at him talking this shit.
Whatever you got to do for that extra motivation. I mean, you carry that shit with you.
Sure.
You know, now you need something else to motivate you through the off season. You know, hopefully everybody returns better, want to win again. So that could be one of the pieces that they just use as a coaching point, a driving force for, you know, because we already won the championship now. So now we got to find an edge. So that could be it.
True.
Well, they have done a very good job of building the team pretty much from within. They picked up Gordon on the trade, but, you know, the big three are similar to the Warriors' style of building the team, and they're all around 26, 27 years old. So if they do stay healthy, they should have a good chance of being one of those, like, consistent contenders for the next 3 or 4 years. But a lot of shit can happen, of course.
A lot of shit is happening. It has happened already.
I don't think anything else from the celebration or anything. Did y'all?
No.
That's all set on that.
That's about it.
So the next big move was Beal just a couple days ago.
Bradley Beal.
The trade that happened, but hasn't happened, but has happened.
The guy y'all claim has no fans. Yeah.
Did I say he had no fans?
What did he get traded for?
It was all debate, but
what did he get traded for? They got Shamet and some second rounders. He must be a top guy, huh?
I mean, he is. I mean, they got fleeced. They got fucking fleeced.
I can't for the life of me understand why the Wizards are making this trade. The full trade package, from my understanding, is Chris Paul, Shamet, and 2 second rounders. And they're holding off on finalizing this deal because they have no intentions of keeping Chris Paul if it goes through the way it is now.
Yes,
they're going to just release him. So they're trying to find a third team to mix into it to send Paul in that package and get something else back or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the fuck they would pull this trigger.
Only reason I can see is to get from under that Supermax contract that they gave him. But even then, who are you trying to get?
Him like 50.
Who are you trying to get? You're not about to get one of the top guys in the draft this year. It's like, what are you really looking for right now? I don't understand the reason for it.
Well, they got to go full rebuild at this point.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They've been doing that for years.
Yeah, well, I mean, they thought they had put the team together, I think, when they got Kuzma, KP, and Beal. Wall was kind of like still in the mix a few years ago, but like the last 2 years, I would say, I think that's right. Yeah. They've had these 3 guys as like a core piece.
And honestly, season was like the first season where they all kind of really played pretty consistently.
I don't think their roster is that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It doesn't make sense to me how they didn't win more games. I watched way more Wizards games than I should between gambling and those games are on TV every single night.
Yeah, we get all the Wizards games. So we can see it.
I watched a lot of Wizards basketball.
Yeah.
They've got a decent roster, but I have no clue why they're making this trade. And I'm more interested in what you guys think about the Suns making a trade. I want to say one thing before you give your answers. I was reading because The contract stuff doesn't make much sense.
The contract shit is wild.
They are over the cap on their 4 starters.
Yeah.
Ayton, KD, Booker, and Beal. They're over the cap on those 4.
And then
they've still got to fill out the rest of the roster. They literally have 5 guys on the roster right now.
saying Campaign is getting paid. He's paying 5 guys right now.
And they just made all those adjustments to where you don't get like the Bird exception, the veteran exception. Like, they're going to have massive penalties for going over. They better win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you design it so
They completely
you have
depleted
to
the
at
bench.
this point. I think, but you got to make that move, right? If a player's like that available for the Suns, then you make the move, especially for what they're giving up. I mean, you don't not make that trade if this is what the offer is, or what the deal is, what the price is going to be.
If you're fine with the luxury tax, then you have to do it.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's up to the owner at that point.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I feel like I can pay that, then I can, and you're going to make way more money back after, if your team is winning some games. So it's just an investment from an owner standpoint. Makes plenty of sense to me to make that move. But do I think this puts? I do think this puts the Suns in a top 4 team in the league debate. I mean, they were borderline there anyway. So, but do I think that automatically makes them the favorite for the championship? No, I don't. I think they still end up coming up short overall. But I mean, it definitely makes them a better team. I mean, you'd be ignorant to say it doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely makes them better. But you got to figure out that bench situation. How they going to figure that out, I don't know. With all that money they're going to have to spend. But
I mean, do you have to have a great bench though when you have? I mean, you have to have I would say pretty good, but I don't think.
I think I might have acknowledged this on the pod. If I hadn't, I will now. We had this discussion a while back, and Moss thought it was way more important to have a deeper bench in the playoffs. And I definitely was heavily against that. I think both of us were. But I would say this playoffs, I very much have changed my stance on that.
But when the injuries happen.
It's because
injuries happen.
Yeah.
You lose one of those big 3 players, now you're in a situation.
If nobody gets hurt, I think you're fine to have a solid 8
Which,
deep.
the
But if
Suns
anybody goes down.
It just happened to the Suns when they lost Chris Paul. The game changed significantly different in that series when Chris Paul went down. Like I said, the different 2 guys had to average 35 to stay in the game.
They were already the worst bench.
Yeah,
in the playoffs too. But one injury just kills it, and that's why I'm not going to get too hyped on this Suns team. They will be very good, and they're crazy talented. But this is like when you do fantasy football. Well, you guys haven't done auction drafts. We've got a guy in our fantasy football when we do the auction draft. He's going to get the top 2 players every year.
Well, no matter
he's going to spend no matter what. He's usually out of money after the first 2 picks. He leaves and comes back like an hour and a half later and fills in the dollar players that you can add onto the roster at the end. That's what this reminds me of. And if nobody gets hurt, then you got the top best players in the league on your team, and you're probably going to be really good. But if one of them goes down,
you're hurting.
It just kills everything. I don't believe in this. This wouldn't be the way I would run it.
It's tough. Motherfucker, KD, a powerful dude, ain't he? His 4th super team, we didn't compile together almost, well, except for the first one, but technically the 3rd one.
Yes, he is a powerful man.
He's a powerful dude, man.
Did you hear the relationship between Beal's agent and the Suns?
I did. It's his son.
Yeah.
Or something like that. His agent is the
dad, I believe.
Of the GM of the Suns.
And then the CEO of the Suns that just took the position 2 months ago or 3 months ago is the son.
Yeah.
So.
Little relationship there. Made that shit happen.
We'll work something out.
That was a good move. I thought, does this lower KD's position on the all-time list even more for y'all?
I think his positioning has already been lowered, prior to this move. I think, now you just, I think we already knew.
Specifically?
Huh?
Why is that specifically? Is it because of the Warriors move?
It's not. It's because of the fact that he moved away from the Warriors.
Wait. That doesn't logically make sense.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know about that.
Nobody would have ever seen this flaw of not like all we would have known from that point forward is that KD and the Warriors gonna win championships.
I agree that's what he should have done, but I'm saying you can't say that his legacy dropped when he left the Warriors. If his legacy dropped, it's because he went to the Warriors.
Oh no, I think maybe initially people thought that, but then you win titles back to back and you're the back to back MVP as well too. That shit is washed. But then when you go to another team and you in 3 years you do nothing with that team, and then you go to another team and then the year that you're with them, y'all get bounced out the playoffs and y'all get swept. Didn't they get swept? Or
they get swept in the Nets.
Yeah. So I mean, those things. But hurt his legacy more so than anything. Like that already puts you down in the back of.
Can I answer right quick before you respond? Because I'm going to be pretty much on the same page as him. The only thing I want to change is I don't think it lowers or lessens his legacy, but I have put a cap on his legacy, and I don't think joining super teams this year, and if he continues to hop from super team to super team, to me he's already maxed out. I'm not going to downgrade him in his legacy, but I just you hopped from super team to super team to super team to super team. I don't think I could put you in the top 5 probably.
But
from my
I understand that. I guess my looking at it is after you win the 2 chips with the Warriors, you've done all that you can do in the league. You've already won all the personal solo awards before that, been MVP, scoring champion, All NBA, All Star, all that. You've done all that you could do. So at this point, he's just doing what he want to do, playing with guys he want to play with. If he can make it happen, he make it happen to play with guys that he's friends with in the league, so to speak. So it kind of makes sense. And I was looking at it. I was just looking at more how we talked about teams staying with the team that drafted them, and you can get the super max after 7 years. Is what it is or whatever like that. Just about all the players that we know that have moved and joined different teams all stayed with the team that they were drafted. Like KD was with OKC for 9 years. He stayed to get the Supermax, never got the chip. And everybody that hasn't gotten the chip has moved on to different teams. Beal been with Wizards for 11 seasons. Dame been with Portland for 11 seasons, and now he's talking about moving. Who's another guy? Harden did the same thing, 9 seasons with Houston. All these players stayed with their team for almost a decade at least and didn't get a chip. So now it's all right, now I can make moves. I was loyal as much as I can be loyal. Now I can do what I want to do. The only players that didn't do it that I seen was Kyrie and LeBron. They both left after their 6th season with the team that drafted him and moved on. I think LeBron ended up playing 11 seasons with him all together when he came back. But he left before he got the Supermax. They was the only players that we talk about all the superstars that didn't stay for the Supermax and move to different teams. So it's you can't really fault these guys after they put in that time with the team that, you're supposed to stay loyal to. So I ain't mad at it. He's doing what the fuck he want to do now. So at some point,
I don't think I wasn't faulting him for leaving OKC.
I feel like most people would fall at him for that because they played him in that Western Conference Finals before that and he left to join the team.
Most people would, but then they quickly forgot about it when they won the title. That's all I'm saying. It's bro, you could still be competing for titles right now.
Hold that against him a lot.
He could still be competing for titles right now, and everybody would be addressing KD as it wouldn't be a thought that this dude was a top 2 player in the league. Now it's you probably throw in this guy or that guy or this guy.
Since he won the title?
If he continued to be if he stayed with the Warriors.
If he stayed with the Warriors and he wasn't having these early playoff exits and stuff like that,
there'd be no doubt in your mind, bro.
He's always put up the numbers. So I agree. You would pretty easily say he's clearly top 2 or 3.
Yeah. If you stay with the Warriors. Not when he left.
If you stay with the Warriors. And I believe that the KD version or the Warriors version of KD was the best version of KD that we've seen. I know that he didn't win an MVP with them, but just being the defensive player he was a borderline rim protector for the Warriors when he was there. He was an impressive defender.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
In his time.
Is that real?
Them late years with OKC, though,
But they lined him up, but he was their biggest player on the court a lot of the times.
He reached his highest point as a player on the team with the Warriors, but when he was with OKC, them last 3-4 years.
Well, as a scorer, right? I'm just saying, all around. He was ridiculous. All around game. Didn't make the defensive team.
Well, I think that's just a difference in role.
Yeah,
because if you're in a crappy team and you are the guy, you're gonna put up insane numbers compared to.
I'm talking about when they won a crappy team. His last 3-4 seasons with the Thunder, they was in the mix every year. You know what I'm saying? But of course, his early years was the Sonics and all that. They were sorry, but once they put that team together, they was like that. They was contending for the last 3-4 years.
He did have his career highs in blocks
in OKC,
in Golden State.
Oh, in Golden State?
Yeah, so that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I don't remember that at all. I remember like bad
or
blocks.
blocks. Okay.
He said rim defender, and I was like, I don't remember that at all. It could be true, but
he was defending.
I mean, he was really good.
It was close to two.
It was a lot of off ball type
close
shit.
to 2 blocks a game.
He was really good. Like I said,
like
to me, that was the best version of KD I've ever seen. I was like, oh, that's the dude we've been waiting on type thing. But hey, I don't even know how we got like this deep in this conversation. Honestly, or where it started, but
flow with perspective on
I don't really have an issue with
other players.
With the leaving. I do think it is different for those guys.
Yeah.
Like when you've stayed with the same team for a long time, I'm not going to give you the same kind of look like, oh, he's just bouncing. He's not trying with the team that can't get there or whatever. The one thing I hate though, it is what it is. All those guys did get their max contracts. And then a year after signing the 4 or 5 year max deal, say, I'm out of here.
Well, only a year.
Trade me.
It was a couple of years. 7 is when you get the super max, and most of them paid to 9 or more seasons. So yeah,
maybe I'd have to
it's
check.
Fairly soon. It wasn't that long.
The
afterwards.
guys that you've named, we've had the conversation about them.
Yeah,
that they've all done this. We're gonna get that super max. Give me the 50 a year, and then next year, I'm gonna demand a trade.
Yeah,
but
trying to get like the way of the league.
It is.
I ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it at all.
What other basketball? Ja.
Yeah,
we can get to Ja.
What happened to Ja?
Suspension, 25 games.
I think you hit it right on the head, right?
I did. I think I bumped it up 2 weeks ago when they made the announcement.
Yeah,
but I did originally say 25.
I was expecting a little bit more, considering why we're gonna wait till after the finals to say it. Like y'all could have said that shit during the finals.
Nah, I'm just getting back to the Nugget stuff, but I thought that was the right thing to do.
I guess.
But the stupid thing is there's no reason to announce that we have an announcement coming.
Yeah.
Just don't tell us.
Just don't say shit.
After the finals,
don't say shit. Ain't like motherfuckers on your head.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you know exactly how much you're going to get.
You've seen this video?
After the finals, you still got a whole off season where you could have took your time and do what you had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't say anything and tell us on Wednesday after the finals are over. But whatever.
Just trying to cook up another story for the media to speculate around and just to,
pretty much
ramp that back up again in between final games.
Off nights here.
That's how the media works.
That's a good point
in that way. But I think the penalty's a bit harsh. But at the same time, it is what it is.
Did you say what you thought it should be? I feel like I asked you this before when we talked about it.
I thought maybe like 15 games, something around there. But I don't.
You had 10 last time, right?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what
it was. A little bit more. It was around
9 or 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
that was why I thought 25 was going to make more sense, just because it had been close to 15 before.
But I mean, you get what hey, it is what it is. It's what you deserve.
Like slap on the wrist. They hurt his pockets, but they ain't hurt the game. If that makes sense. Like, you still want Memphis to be a contender next year. If you sit them out for half a season, that would hurt their chances of being a contender. But you still got to make a little bit more than the first time just because he doubled down and did it again. So a little light slap on the wrist. But they hurt his money because now you can't make a all-NBA team by missing the 25 games, so you're not going to get that extra bump.
I think the biggest question, though, is like, what does Memphis do now? Like, I mean, you don't, you're not making any plans to.
I heard people saying maybe she should move him somewhere, or Kendrick Perkins, you should go to Miami. Why?
I wouldn't move him.
Yeah, he was real adamant about it. The first place to go right there is Miami.
If you're Memphis, though, you do
go to the wildest city in the country.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about. Like, yeah, Miami would be the spot. If you're trying to
talk about Milwaukee or some shit, you know,
send them to the Jazz.
But I mean, you do have to have like these starting conversations of a contingency plan if you're Memphis, right? I mean, don't you? You got a guy who's missing 25 games off the rip now. Like,
are you talking about for next season, or are you talking about what they're going to do with
next
him
season and possibly beyond? Like, you at least, if you're a GM, though, that thought has to cross your mind, or else you're not a good GM.
What you mean by contingency plan? Like, you think trying to move him?
anything of that nature, or getting somebody who you're not gonna find the next Ja Morant, but you can find a superstar caliber player. Like you might just need to get somebody in the fold or have your eyes on somebody.
You're not gonna find that next season.
Well,
I'm not saying you're gonna find it next season, but you got to have these conversations now.
Well, hold on. So the thing is,
how we can acquire.
Thing is, he's not a free agent until 2028. So it's not like they're facing any contract decisions that they got to make about him.
For sure.
So that buys them some time. And their backup is, I always forget which one it is. It's either Tyus or Trey Jones.
Tyus.
One of the Jones brothers. And he had I believe the last 2 or 3 years, he's had the highest assist to turnover ratio in the whole NBA.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
He's coming off the bench, so he would obviously get more minutes, may not still lead in that category, but he's like a perfectly capable point guard.
Definitely. But no Ja, though.
I think they have that as a backup plan, but after this many incidents, they certainly have to be a little bit nervous right now.
I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't be doing your job if you're not exploring all the options that you have at this point when a player has kind of shown you, look, he might not be on the floor. And you can say the same thing about Zion and for the Pelicans. Like, they would be stupid not to explore their options. This guy's not playing.
Oh, they exploring them. They exploring them. Yeah, I know you ain't seen them. We're going to get there, but go ahead.
I haven't seen those.
So they talking about zipping them up in the package, too.
Well, they would be stupid not to, though.
But it's one of those things that right now I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what's real and what's not. They've had obviously rumors and stuff about they should move them. These are trade packages they could make. But I thought the more like concerning one, if true, is I saw that he doesn't have any contact with the team or players on the team. Or
I think it's
like
a better chance of Zion getting moved than Ja from the Memphis for sure. At this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, Ja's played significantly more than Zion. So, of course, but
that's evident.
But the reasons for why they're on the floor are vastly different. So it's like you still have to have those conversations if you're for the Memphis, because it's just behavioral things. It's like we don't know when the next time that's going to happen at all. Like this dude could spark off in the middle of a game and we won't have him again for the next 25, 50 games.
He ain't never done nothing like that, though. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but
there's
a whole lot of things he didn't do before he did the gun shit for the first time. It's like AB. It's a whole lot of shit.
The gun was fake. It was a lighter, all right?
Yeah, I've seen these been covering that shit up. But it's like the Steelers with AB and shit. Like, once this shit started happening, it just started happening. AB had 9 seasons of being a model citizen.
That's so wild.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, at this point,
they covered up and made it look like he was a model citizen. There was other shit going on that we didn't know about till later.
Not really. Not a whole lot. Bro, I'm a Steelers fan.
You got something specific?
I mean, he had shit with women. He had a little domestic shit and shit going like that.
No, he didn't have no domestic cases.
With y'all.
No, he didn't.
I think he did.
Not in the first, like,
no
6-7 years.
Not in the early years, after he got his money years.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is like it's like 9 seasons before AB signed a 6-year, $44 million contract and was grossly underpaid for pretty much the entirety of that contract, and didn't put up a fit at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, all I'm saying is like once that shit start happening, it's happening. Like it's a snowball effect. I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible for Ja Morant to turn it around. I'm not saying he's the next AB, but as a GM, you got to have that kind of foresight to say
the difference
this
shit has happened with Ja early and ain't nothing criminal. So it's like this can be fixed and worked out.
Nothing criminal with AB
nothing
though.
Criminal with Ja.
Initially,
he ain't breaking any laws.
AB won't break any laws. Bro, not when he first started that
like that. He
didn't, bro. You can't find that.
I remember some of that shit, bro. Like he
never got suspended. AB's never had a suspension in the NFL. So any domestic violence type thing, that's going.
They covered it up pretty good.
Bro, they're not covering it up in the NFL for nobody.
That's a lie.
Bro,
that is a lie. They don't cover shit up for their max guys. What are you talking about?
The only thing
every league does that.
But I'm telling you, you've never seen those kind of headlines. I mean,
the only thing I remember from the Steelers was recording the post-game
right. That was the
room.
first
That's literally the only thing I remember.
Recording the shit, and then he had a blow up with all this shit happened was really with the Steelers was after when he was planning to get traded or when he was trying to force himself out. He was just talking about Ben Roethlisberger and stuff like that, but it wasn't nothing criminal or anything and then he started all this crazy off the field shit when he got with the Raiders and, so forth. So.
Well, I'll say as a GM, it's got to be 10 times more frustrating to deal with his issues than even guys that can't stay healthy. Because like you're talking about, both of those are things that just randomly pop up out of nowhere. There's no way you can really plan for it, but he can help one of them.
You can at least attempt to, right?
It's like,
right.
All you got to do is not be stupid. If some guy turns his ankle, every time he steps on the court, that sucks. Very frustrating for the GM, I would imagine. But at least it's like not your fault.
Right.
Like if you're doing dumb shit and can't play, then it's your fault. And that's got to be more frustrating.
Gotta have those conversations, man. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing going to happen immediately. Of course not. But hey, we got to put some shit in place for some just in case type shit. That's it.
True indeed.
No doubt.
But your boy Zion about to get moved though, bro.
Oh, I mean, hey, it's probably best for him and the Pelicans if that's the case.
Seems like it's a move. They're trying to go after Scoot. They're trying to snatch Scoot Henderson up. Now you've seen him.
Yeah, I mean,
Scoot, nice.
I think he's a fantastic player, but if you think you're gonna swap him for Zion and be a better team, then I don't think that's the truth. But it's a player that you can't get on the floor, so we'll see. It's
the broken record conversation.
Yeah.
If you get 60 games out of Scoot, no matter what he provides, it's better than 20 out of Zion.
Sure, and then you got to put that boy Zion somewhere where. Apparently he can't be in Dallas. He can't go to Miami. You got to
send his ass to Canada. I mean,
you got to go to Toronto or some shit like that.
Toronto sounds like trouble too.
Toronto got
back to Utah
too.
Yeah, back to Utah.
Utah.
I mean,
that's my landing spot for every trouble
somewhere else, man. At this point, I don't know. Again, it goes back to that conversation. Why don't y'all just get married or something? Like, find you a nice, wholesome hometown girl and get married. A whole lot of this drama won't happen.
Get married.
It's not a bad idea.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, damn, man, this is crazy. But if they move them, they move them. It wouldn't be a bad move for them.
Gotta make that move, man.
I know you're chomping at the bit to discuss your boy Cat.
Chomping at the bit.
You're a big Karl Anthony Towns fan.
Yeah, I definitely know how I feel about that.
But we got to get into a couple of those quotes in that interview.
Boy Cat was out here wilding on the Pat Bev podcast. Him and his boy, ex-teammates in Minnesota, as we know. And made a couple wild statements that he was standing on, Pat Bev was agreeing with. One of the main ones is that when it's all said and done, when he hangs it up and retires, the people are going to say that he changed the game forever. How do y'all feel about that, Mr.
Was this your one?
Mr. Cat?
This was my one. It's other ones that he said was crazy, but it's like, this is the first clip that I saw of this. Yeah, I didn't really watch anything else after that, but people are going to say you changed the game, right? You made it soft. The fucking big man that doesn't play like a big man. That's what people are going to remember you as. And then when he says something like, I'm going to be very appreciative of it. It's like, no, that's not how an appreciative motherfucker acts. Like, appreciative motherfucker don't make statements like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that.
Gonna change
Y'all gonna call
game.
me a legend one day.
And I'm going to be very appreciative of that. What are you saying?
He basically said, I'm going to be the future. Thank you ahead of time for acknowledging my career.
Thank me later. We'll give you this information.
No great player has ever said anything like that. They wait for their moment. And then they're like, you know what? I couldn't have done it without X, Y, and Z. And you know what I'm saying? That's what the appreciative motherfuckers do. They wait for their time.
LeBron is the sun. He is the light.
Yeah. I couldn't believe anybody would allow him to say something like that without checking him. Be like, all right, look, bro. you a decent basketball player, but
He's good.
Let's be real
What he
about
wants to be.
ceilings and cap. He might be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done.
I'll run a little defense for him. I'll run one defense for
Somebody
him.
got to.
And then I'm going to dunk on him right afterwards. I think the point he's trying to make there is being overconfident in that he's one of the best 3-point shooter big men in the league. He shoots like close to 40%.
Stat-wise, yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I think he was talking about like the style of the game where I'm the big 7-footer that can pull out and shoot the 3. That's my best defense I got for him. I'm going to go ahead and dunk right back on him, though, because even if he goes crazy the rest of his career and becomes like a 45% 3-point shooter, Dirk is a guy that he already changed the game.
Right.
Dirk changed the game for you. You can't change the game again to what he already changed it to.
What are you changing it to?
Dirk is the name you think of when we say big men that can shoot. That's going to be the guy. No. So that one was crazy.
And then
I don't
Pat
think that was
just
the worst.
saying some wild shit about when they asked him who was the top 5 sitters in the league, and he's like, "Y'all not gonna like my answer." Damn right, we not gonna like
What
the
was the
answer.
answer? I didn't see this one.
His answer was Cat.
He said he was in some interview and they asked him between Jokic and Embiid.
Oh, this wasn't their interview.
No,
He was
in
asking them.
another
Okay,
interview.
got you, got you.
He was like, "Yeah, they aren't gonna like my answer, but I'm going with Cat."
I did see that.
It's just like, yo, I seen this dude
The
up
battery in
close.
his back a little bit.
I get that you seen him do shit in practice, but what about the games, motherfucker? Like, where does that count for something? And I'm not saying that he a bum or nothing like that. He's
Not a
a
bum.
solid
Not a
player.
bum.
He's a good player.
Just soft.
But these people in actual games are significantly better than him.
Jokic
Like, let's just be real about that.
Jokic just ate him and Gobert up at the same time.
That's facts.
It's not close.
And Gobert is a 3-time defensive player of the year. Like,
Yeah.
what are we
And the
talking
fucked up
about?
thing is, I think at one point we all like wanted this for Karl Anthony Towns. At one point in his
There's
career,
an expectation.
like
I don't mind
the
it.
expectation was for
There's
him
an
to be
expectation.
the best, but it's never that never came about. That never came to fruition. So it's like, bro, now you just saying shit, and we all looking like, nah, that ain't. This we expected that, but that ain't the truth in today's basketball.
It's a nuts
bro.
thing to say. And then the tip of the iceberg.
I think this is your shit.
I think this.
And then I forgot about this, but this is
the dumbest shit
this
I've
is the
ever heard.
biggest one right here.
It's not worse.
This is the dumbest shit I've
probably
ever
We
heard.
all remember, was it last year or the year before?
This
Might
was
have
the
been last
bubble,
year.
I think.
Was it the bubble?
No, it wasn't the bubble.
It wasn't the bubble.
Pat Bev was
outside
going
the bubble.
crazy
it was
on
outside
this.
the bubble.
Within the last 2 years.
They came back and won a play-in game to get into the playoffs, and we all remember the big celebration like they had won the chip.
when Pat Bev was crying.
Crying tears, real tears.
He was standing on the
Swinging
scores.
his North Carolina, throwing his head like a helicopter, all that. And Cat said that was a more special moment than the Nuggets winning the finals and championship this year.
What, for you personally? What are we
Right,
talking
of
about?
course. Right.
It was, I'm like,
He said, what we did was better. It was more special, though. What we did, like, bro.
the bar is in hell. The bar is in fucking hell. At this point, the bar is in hell. If you think winning a play-in game, the play-in championship to get an 8th seed or 7th seed, whatever seed they got because of that, was bigger than winning the chip is nuts to me.
This is the dumbest thing anybody's ever said. And then he tried to back it up like even further and kind of make the case like what they did for the franchise of Minnesota because they haven't had this history of winning or whatever. Like what we did was special.
The Nuggets
haven't won a fucking championship.
Won a championship.
Like it's not like the Lakers just got their whatever 18 or something. This is its franchise that's never won a championship. What are we? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Shit is nuts to me.
Crazy.
This is one of them people, though, like, I don't know. It's like you clearly don't know. You reading the room.
Do you think he believes anything he said?
Oh, not really. I think
he
false.
wholeheartedly believes that shit.
I think it's that false confidence.
He gave me super hard logic vibes.
Okay.
I just feel like he says
full
whatever
delusion.
he thinks people will think is cool.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out his mouth and it's like, yo, you fucking retarded, son.
I think it's a guy who struggles being himself.
Yeah, that's what
I think he got multiple personalities.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
obvious.
You see the interviews, he's switching up his voice and shit. That shit is funny as fuck, yo. Those clips where he like got the super deep voice and like after game interviews, he'd be like, yeah, you know, we have to get it in the paint and we want to take some better shots. And then when you listen to him in the podcast, and
Don't worry about that.
He got the
straight Canadian accent. You from Jersey? Why you sound you from Toronto?
Got some super sass in his voice and shit. You be like, okay, bro, this dude is a different type of guy. You know,
wild.
I don't expect for him. I don't know. He's like, you know, when it's all said and done, and I'm riding off in the sunset with my family and my kids. I'm like, what? With your husband and what? Like, huh? What did he say?
You know his wife is that right?
No. Jordan.
Yeah, Woods.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the other chick that Tristan Thompson skeeted on or something.
Damn. I don't know that. I don't think so. I don't know about that part, but yeah.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Hung with the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, that's on one of the stories about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, he got him one.
Yeah, he's a lucky guy.
Yeah, wild boy, man. Some wild takes right there. I mean, I fuck with Pat Bev. He usually keeps it really straightforward and 100 about shit, but you showed your bias in that interview, bro.
Well, he kind of does, but he kind of doesn't.
He doesn't.
Nah, I don't think he actually thinks
after that,
some
bro,
of the stuff
I have
he
no
says.
respect for him. After you let somebody get some shit off like that. I think that's
more so of a bias because he actually has a friendship and they played together.
No, you gotta tell your boys the real shit sometimes, bro. You gotta keep it real with your homies sometimes. Like, you my nigga, you nice. But you ain't that
was
good.
Like,
that's okay.
This is funny. He's like, I'm a guy that can give you like 40 a night whenever. He's like, if you make a game plan and let me call my plays for me and let me have control of the game, I'm like, ain't nobody letting you do all that shit. I'm thinking
we're gonna lose by 35.
What are we talking about?
But I'm thinking in my head, it's like most NBA players probably could do that. If you give them the ball, you tell them do whatever
just
you
shoot
want.
the whole game. Like, yeah, you might get 40, maybe.
Most NBA players that are of anything to talk about, like your 20-point averagers, could probably do that.
Yeah.
They probably can every night. Yeah, bro. If that's the goal, but the goal is to win the game, not to score 40 every night.
The goal is to win a play-in game.
Yeah, for them.
Mission accomplished.
Championship.
But it's just guys like this, and this will never leave my brain. Like, this is part of his. I know Devin Booker has never said anything like this, but these are the moments that I'm storing. It's like this is part of his mental makeup. This will never change. I can't see a guy like this winning a championship or being the key piece of why your team wins a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is part of his mental makeup. His dude don't want to strive for better. Like, he's fine where he's at. He thinks he's the best of all time already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I will never buy into this. I don't care how deep he can make his voice and try to convince people this dude is an alpha. He's not. You know, it's like you
won that 3-point contest and you can't tell him shit after that, boy.
For that reason alone, if I was a franchise,
all the time. I'm up there with Curry.
I wouldn't even let my big man participate in that shit. It's like, I don't even want you to think that shit in your head that we want you shooting this. Like I get it, like the morphing of the game and stuff, but what the fuck is the point of you being 7 feet then? If you want to stay away from the basket all the fucking time.
Well, that's super helpful.
I mean, yeah.
That's a super helpful skill.
Yeah, but you can still shoot over people, no doubt. But you could be 6'6" and shoot over motherfuckers. Like, yeah, what's the point of you being 7 feet, though, if you ain't gonna go to the paint at sometimes and bang that? You know what I'm saying?
If you don't do it at all.
Assert yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck how much you shoot threes. It doesn't really matter if you're a big man. It's still in today's game, I think. I think if you 7 feet, of course I want you to have a diverse game and stuff like that. But overall, man, I want you to do what a 7-foot motherfucker do.
I want both of that, but if you're a 40% 3-point shooter, I want you taking 6 to 8 a game.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying don't shoot, but at the same time, if you're a 7-footer and that's your most valuable asset, you're not a fucking 7-footer to me. I'm not going to view you that way. Like, that's a waste of 7 feet. I'm sorry. It is.
To an extent. You sure, for sure, right? You got to bang. You got to bang a little bit.
When you're banging a dude.
Banging a dude down
I'm juggling
there.
2 balls right now.
Shout out.
Yeah. Wild shit going down there.
Do you want to touch on that Jimmy thing? That was the last basketball topic that I had written down.
Oh yeah, he did some interview. I forgot who it was with, but basically addressed if he was to make the Hall of Fame, that he wouldn't go to the ceremony if elected. And I get it. I guess it kind of aligns with like Jimmy's whole I'm about the team. I think he says some shit like that. I'm about the team, man. I'm not about them individual awards, which obviously he's not about because he don't ever get elected or selected for any of those positions during the regular season. But it's still like, why are you saying that? Why is that the conversation you having now? Like, I don't understand. This is weird. It's weird timing for me.
I mean, he was asked the question.
He was.
So I give him a little on that. I don't think much of this. I don't believe him. This came across to me as like the fake teammate thing. Not like he's a fake teammate, but like the thing that you're just supposed to say, I don't care about this, it's all about the team. I'm not worried about the Hall of Fame. I probably won't even go if I make it. Like, that's just dumb. Of course he's gonna go.
I think he believes it, but he's in player mode right now.
That makes sense.
If he retires, and 10 years from now, you're going to want somebody to, you're going to want to put that reel on and your highlights up and shit. Like all your players talking about how great of a teammate, you're going to want to see that shit. You coming, you showing up because all your players and your teammates, it's still something for y'all to celebrate.
Appreciation
together.
Of people you've been with your
career. Right. You can appreciate like them and they can appreciate you.
Kind of like the Jokic shit.
I think Jokic is the only player in any sport that could say that, and I might believe him.
Really?
I don't believe any player in any sport. You're not going to get offered into the Hall of Fame and be like, nah, I'm good. I don't buy that. You put like your whole career, like basically what you're saying. You put your whole career into this. Your career is done. They're going to have a ceremony. What the fuck else are you doing?
Right.
You're not going to just not
Where else
go.
you going to be tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Get up with the other 4 dudes that are getting inducted, and it's like, yo, we're having a Hall of Fame weekend or whatever.
All your teammates are going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, all the people who meant something to you at those moments are going to be there. So you're going to celebrate with them. And yeah, it's an individual award for you, but it's something for them to say like, hey, I used to set screens for this motherfucker to get open. You know what I'm saying? Like you had something to do with it. So at that point, it's like you celebrating your teammates as well at the same time. So that's why you go. You don't go because everybody's worshiping you. No, it's a moment for us to come together again, and kind of like,
celebrate.
Celebrate what we did in the past and stuff like that to make this thing, happen. So that's what I think it's more so about.
It's a weird question to answer anyway.
It is.
Yeah.
Like what was the other option he was going to say? Like, yo, I can't wait to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Or
it's like,
I don't think I'll ever make it. You know what I'm saying? Like
there's no answer that would have been like, yeah, that's what's up.
Right.
Right. That's true.
It's just weird. It's a weird question.
What can you do? Where we going?
Stefon Diggs, I believe that's the last sports that I had written down.
Okay.
All I had seen in headlines was it was like conflicting reports, and that the GM, I believe it was, said he wasn't at training camp. The agent said he
mandatory
was.
Training camp.
And
minicamp.
The next day he was out on the field. So I don't know what's going on. Is there any more clarity?
Did he actually came out on the field one day?
Yeah, I believe the day after it became like a big story, he was out there.
Well, I just remember seeing like Sean McDermott and taking interviews about it and saying how concerning it was pretty much that he wasn't there.
I think Josh Allen's comments too.
And Josh Allen was pretty much putting out like a plea like, we need him here. That's my brother. I love that guy. He said I fucking love him in the interview. Like he was doing all he could. You dropped the F-bomb. You really want to make somebody feel that shit. Like I fucking love you, man.
He also brought up some of their issues. I think this all started from when remember he stormed out after they lost to the Chiefs last year at AFC Championship
in the snow.
Yeah. I mean,
he stormed out the locker room right after
the game. That's the last time anybody's really.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard from Stefon Diggs since then.
Not
seen stormed out, didn't talk to nobody. And Josh said some comments like, he said Diggs got concerned with him being like a part of like the inner workings of the team type shit, like letting know the game plan. He feel like he wasn't involved with the team as much as like he should be being one of their star players type shit. So I guess he felt a little disrespect towards how he was, used throughout the season or during the playoffs or some shit like that. So that's what seems like some of his concerns, which makes sense. I mean, you the star guy on offense with you and Josh Allen. Makes sense you should be more involved with what's going on. So I get it. But he'll be back.
He doesn't really have a choice.
I didn't put much into it.
But to me, look, from the Bills, bro, why are you dealing with it? Why are you putting up with this?
Here you go.
I think this is an opportunity.
I know everybody's expendable, but
look, no. If Josh Allen is supposed to be the dude that you think he is, that you paid $50 million a season, he should be able to make up for the loss of stuff. He's not. He won't be able to.
What I'm saying is, let's not do that.
If he was supposed to be the guy, if you didn't pay a dude who wasn't really the dude
Bills right now, but let's not do that.
You paid a dude who's not really the dude.
This is the rope hanger. He's trying to rope me into a Lamar conversation.
No, I'm just saying you paid a dude who's not really the dude. So now you have to keep the wide receiver that's giving you issues instead of shipping them off for 2 draft picks of what you could get and extending your run as a franchise. If you were to flip Stefon Diggs, similar to what the Chiefs did with Tyreek Hill. And now they've extended their run as far as Super Bowl or that Super Bowl
window. The Chiefs
window.
got way more pieces outside Tyreek Hill on that offense, so they was fine to make that move. The Bills don't have that as many pieces as the Chiefs to make that type of move.
I mean, I get
situation.
I get that. Travis Kelce, he's certainly a Hall of Fame level player.
Facts.
But they have one more piece.
No, they don't.
Outside of Tyreek.
No, they didn't. They got way more than one more.
All those guys
talked about this all the time last year. They got like 5 or 6 guys in rotation that are.
But you talk shit about how not good Juju was. We know
that. He was a good piece for them as their 3rd, 4th receiver.
He was their number 1 receiver last year. He led them in targets and yards. Okay. And he wasn't even a 1,000-yard wide receiver. So we talk about all of these things as far as
who. I understand what you're saying.
This is quite a catch-22 for you right now. You either got to go against what he's saying and he's on your team now, or you got to agree with what he's saying. That's tough. You either got to disagree with Carl.
He doesn't know what
I'm lost.
Juju's a Patriot now. So you either got to disagree with Carl and put Juju down as not being that good, or you got to agree with Carl and say Juju is that good.
I ain't say he wasn't good. I just don't see him being your named number 1 receiver on the team.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all right.
Kelce was their number 1.
But he was their number 1.
Kelce was their number 1.
As far as a receiver, though.
No. Kelce was their number 1.
Come on, man.
By scheme, sure, no doubt.
Like, don't do that.
Position, he was not.
We know that.
That's all I'm saying.
We're not going to say Juju was the number 1 on the offense.
Ball catcher.
Like, all right.
But, I mean, the reason why all of this can happen is if I was them, I'd try to, at least start those conversations. If you're a good GM, you start these conversations or building a contingency plan of what it looks like to move a guy like that. If I can get 2 picks for
I hear what you're saying right now.
I'm doing it.
The AFC East is stacked. The AFC as a whole is stacked. You need to keep guys like Diggs on your team. You're not giving them up for some draft picks and betting that maybe you can get something back.
If I can get a second, and a fourth.
You're going into this season having to deal with Tyreek Hill and Waddle and fucking Kelce and all the other fucking people in the AFC. Like, dog, no.
If I can get a second and a fourth, I'll probably make the deal.
There's no telling how serious it is. If the guy doesn't show up for the first day of mandatory mini camps and then is there the next day, I would say that it was something that was able to be smoothed out relatively easy, blip in the radar, no big deal. If he had been out like the whole week and they got like real issues, then I could see it like, if you're the GM, what do we do about this if we can't resolve this or whatever? But the fact that it was done so fast, I don't think that's that serious.
I didn't see it as far as them going back to practice. But that was about just first initial thoughts about it. It's just, hey, why would we put up with this? We're in prime position to flip a player who's been productive for us and extend our window as far as making a Super Bowl run. Again, I think that's what really helped the Kansas City Chiefs out a bunch. And if you're a smart team,
it's a lot easier to do that when you already have won a Super Bowl. And you want to extend your window and you've already gotten one. You're a team that doesn't have one and has the history of the Bills. Exactly. It's like, fuck extending this window. Let me in this bitch right quick.
Yeah, you don't want to start that search over right now. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, hey, we'll see.
Shout out to D-Hop.
I'm excited for football.
DeAndre Hopkins had a good visit with the Pats this week. So everything went well.
But no deal, so.
No deal yet. I mean, he got time to make his choices.
He said he wanted a 1-year deal, $15 million.
We would gladly give him that.
I'm assuming.
I ain't hear that.
If I was D-Hop, I probably wouldn't want to sign a multi-year deal right now, right? I would probably want to do
How old is he?
He's 28.
Is he really?
I think he's 30 yet. Yeah.
No, I don't think he's 30 yet.
Oh,
like
wow.
27 or something like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Or he might be about to turn 29 or something.
That definitely makes sense. I hit you a 1-year deal and grab a 3 or 4 after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You do a 1-year deal, $15 million.
I thought he was trying to get
3-4 year where you're averaging, probably about $20 million a season or something.
Oh, damn, he's actually 31.
Oh, well.
A little older than we thought.
I thought he was even old. Yeah, so I don't know. You're getting in a little bit of murky waters at that point.
with the 1 year
taking
deal,
a 1 year deal and then trying to get a 3 at 32. Certainly, it's possible.
You always look it out there.
Yeah, take 2 year deals at a time or something.
Yeah, hire a gun going forward if you want.
He's already getting that money on the other end, at least some, I believe, anyway. So whatever this salary is will be a little help.
Yeah. If I was him, though, I would bite the bullet. I would probably take the 1 year deal, but in a situation where I could get the most exposure, like it's the most bang for my buck type situation. Like,
I think of football completely different than the NBA. If I was him, I'm going to the Eagles or Chiefs.
Right.
Fuck everything else. I'm going to go get my ring. Football life is totally different than an NBA life. I say go chase that ring.
But you also want to go somewhere where you're going to get, like the Chiefs, he would get legitimate targets.
Yeah.
With the Eagles, he might not get as many as he would.
It's Dion. It would certainly a lot more to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go to the Chiefs if I was him, honestly.
I mean, he gonna get a bunch of targets with the Patriots, but they won't win any games.
I say you can go there and don't do that. Don't do that. It's like, you're not gonna do that.
It's like fuck.
I'm saying,
I'm a cordial thought to you.
Yeah, you can go to the Patriots and be the fucking man.
That is true.
Like you would be the man
guy.
with the Patriots.
But
you with the Chiefs and the Eagles, you're expendable. We can let you go after the season and be,
you ain't gonna be nothing but as a black man at the Patriots, but the nigga.
There we go.
You ain't gonna be the man. You're gonna be the nigga on the team that catches the balls pretty well sometimes. That's what. As long as you put fans to see you.
As long as you put a that in front of it, I'm all right.
That's wild, but yeah. So I think that's all for sports, ain't it?
That's all I have. That's all I have for sports.
It's looking pretty good.
Yep.
Where we on to next?
New music.
New music
Fridays.
I think we may have gotten probably one of the better weeks of music this year.
Yeah,
I would say a lot, mostly because my man Killer Mike.
Yeah,
album entitled Michael, phenomenal album. Yeah, like top to bottom, executive produced by No ID. We already know No ID's track record. All the features fit. That shit is solid. And watching his interviews this week, saw him on Breakfast Club. He came on Joe Budden's pod. Phenomenal.
Oh, really?
You know how Killer Mike, yeah. You know how Killer Mike gets it up in the interview.
Killer Mike's the coolest dude.
He really like, whenever you get a chance, listen to either the Breakfast Club or listen to last week Joe Budden's pod. He was on there. Like, he really brings you into the world of how this album was created, and that shit is like, it kind of blows you away. It makes you appreciate the album a lot more. Just hear him I think it took him like 2 years. 2 years to make this album or something like that. And
I hadn't heard that.
That shit is fire. That shit is fire how you put it together.
His mom had recently passed, right?
Actually, it's been a while.
A couple of years ago. Yeah,
he had opened up on the Breakfast Club about that.
Yeah,
I thought that's what I had
seen.
seen. I thought the album was really good.
Yeah.
I heard he can always rap. He can rap. But I had heard him talk about in the interviews and stuff like, through this album, I wanted you to feel like I'm taking you to church, and throughout the whole project, it's like mad choirs and stuff on the hooks, and it had that type of feel to it. I don't want to say always. I got into Killer Mike a couple of years back, and I'm a big fan of his. Mm-hmm. I like to see all of the recognition that he gets from his peers.
Yeah, facts.
He's never going to make music that's going to be super, super popular. But when you look at the other people that hop on his records that talk about him and stuff, it's just, to me as a fan, it's just cool to hear the guys that like him are the guys that you want to like you.
Right. I feel like that's more of a reward in being a rapper or entertainer or whatever than actually getting. Of course, you want the fans to love you, Shane. He got fans, but when you get the OGs and the legends that show you that respect and regard, no matter what you're doing, it's a different level. It's a different level. I think that's how he described making his album. He's like, I've been in the game for a while. He's like, I definitely am a rapper that doesn't get the respect that he deserves over my career. He's like, so I wanted to make sure before I go that I make one of these type of albums that make you and really put it in your face like, this is the type of level that I'm on. And he did that shit. He flexed on every single track on this joint.
I've always looked at him as like a more talented big boy.
See, all right.
Explain. I'm
I hate
curious.
when you do
Similar.
this. Why you always doing
Rap
this to Big
styles,
Boy? Yeah?
I think a little bit.
Why you always doing this to Big Boy? Why you always do this?
It was a shot. It was an
It
unnecessary
is. It's an unnecessary shot altogether. Yeah.
Big Boy's way over there in the other room.
like,
Not
no,
talking to
similarities,
nobody.
though. They're both Atlantic.
He spoke on Big Boy in a lot different light.
I'm sure they got a lot of respect for each other.
Dungeon family. It's a squad.
Yeah. I look at them as similar rappers, but I like Killer Mike a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not shitting on Big Boy. I just want to throw a hit out there. That was it.
But yeah, he's the guy who can rap on anything. I've heard him rap on everything. Any type of beat, any type of situation, he can do it.
And he likes to try weird shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I know him. I don't think he'll ever be like super mainstream because he does, the Run the Jewels stuff is really cool, but it's like really weird, different type of hip hop.
Yeah, it is. It's some rapping though.
Yeah.
A lot of rapping.
For sure.
And his album Independent, all out of his pocket.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, independent pocket, independent on album, which is even doper because he said he put up like $500,000 to make this album of his own money.
Bet he's got
very expensive fucking
features
album.
all over the place. Some of those got to be family friends.
Yeah,
I mean, that's relatively cheap considering that the rumor is that Lil Durk paid J. Cole nearly $1 million just for that one feature.
I had heard 200,000 of them.
Well, Lil
like,
Durk is not independent, so he didn't pay J. Cole $1 million.
Well, he does
his label
pay.
paid fucking J. Cole $1 million.
But ultimately, he pays that.
I mean, sure.
We know if what
But
your
I'm
label
saying-
plays is a loan,
but it's still like
so he pays.
It's a different situation.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
independently paying $1 million for a feature.
It's a different situation. I'm just saying. It was interesting.
Yeah.
For
A lot
that to
more
be
money
a
to be
headline.
spent on the top tier artists on a major like that, but
He doesn't. He's got one song on here. One song on here that doesn't have a feature.
Oh wow.
I mean, they're big name people all over this.
yeah. I mean, a lot of the songs is people singing that just did the hook type shit, shit like that. But yeah, a lot of features.
But
all of them made sense.
Got all my favorite R&B dudes.
Yeah, they got the
Ty Blast
Yeah.
and what was the other one I just saw?
got Fabo
Black.
on there.
Who?
Fabo from D4L.
Oh wow.
He got John Williams. That shit hard.
That's
I like
fire.
I didn't even notice that.
CeeLo Green, Jagged Edge. That shit's hard.
CeeLo
And,
Green's my guy. Too.
got 3 Stacks verse.
Yeah, that was a cool little
That was a solid
anecdote he
record
gave
right
on
there.
that.
I like the story that he made up about, because he said like over the years, he had a relationship with him being part of the Dungeon family and all that. He like, so he always would just, try to get him to get on the track, he always give him an answer like, I don't feel like rapping right now, or some shit like that. He was like, so this one time when he went to him to play him the album, whatever, and he's like, he wasn't even going into it trying to get no feature. He was just, I'm just playing some records, see what he think, because I hold his opinion high. He's like, he played him some songs, and then he said he was listening, and he was just like, hey, you mind if I like come back tomorrow and bring some B-side guys or something like that? He was like, hell yeah! Like, when your ass back over here tomorrow.
Sorry,
Came back,
Andre.
did the song because he had that beat that they did the song on. Andre 3 Stacks had that beat or whatever. Presented that beat. It was a weird sounding beat if you listen to it like without no lyrics or whatever. Went crazy, then put Future on it. He said he ain't put no verse on it until that they put their shit on it. He was like, yo, it took him a while. He said he wrote his verse like 6-7 times before he felt good about one putting on this track, because that track is fire. Like, they went crazy.
Yeah.
And it came out solid. That shit dope.
That's a really like a legendary Atlanta mix.
Yeah.
To put
3
Stacks,
on there
Three
too.
different generations,
Yeah.
pretty much. Almost
Killer
like,
Mike and fucking Future on the track.
Yeah, that
Like,
is wild.
That's
crazy.
I
like
haven't even thought about it.
heavily like influential not only to Atlanta,
Atlanta pioneers.
but to the landscape of rap
Yeah,
overall.
that
Like,
too.
if you look at the impacts that those three, especially Future and 3 Stacks had
Yeah.
on the rap game,
Shit's
that's crazy. Like, they put them on the same track.
Yeah, all in all, Killer Mike, he up there, yo. He one of them ones.
Shout out to Killer Mike.
Real solid album. You gotta check that shit out.
No doubt.
Another drop,
Your boy.
Big Gunna.
Yeah, your boy.
Said he back. No features.
It's
Why
hard to
couldn't
get
get none
by
anyway?
choice or
Yeah,
not.
why couldn't get none anyway?
Nobody, I mean, he probably got some, but they was like, yo, don't put me on that
Put my shit
bro.
on your fucking album. yo.
Nah, yeah, bro.
Hey, I think
Not clearing it.
I got this reggaeton joint.
You gotta get 6ix9ine, make him do some overseas features. But album solid though. A Gift and a Curse is the name of it. Of course, no features. Beats hard, and he's spitting like he rapping for his life out here. To me, he sound like he's really going in. I fuck with that shit.
I haven't listened.
Like he's really solid on these tracks. He dressed a lot of situations, a lot of people coming at him. He basically dressing all that's been going on pretty much. He won a lot of like, you know, Gunna usually talk about his drip and his swag, and he's that type of rapper, but it was a lot of like direct shot. Well, not direct shots because he didn't say nobody's name really, but a lot of just pointing out the situation that's going on and going hard on some hard ass tracks. I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he's getting a good reception for the fans about it too. Like people fucking with it regardless of the rat shit.
Yeah,
really?
I don't expect for fans to care.
Most of
about
them.
that.
Most of them for sure.
Yeah, if you liked the artist before, that's not going to change you from not liking his music.
But it's still like
completely different.
You still had to put out some hard shit for people to feel like that too. Like
right, yeah, you can't put out
people will
shit.
lean toward just cause like if it was some whack shit, it's like
if he
right,
keeps putting out the same music that he did before, he'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the reason why I like you.
You ain't getting that little baby feature or that.
I mean, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting them situations no more.
Yeah,
at least not right now.
I mean, from what I've seen, people like the album.
But yeah, so I like how he stood tall and let his, that's, how many songs on this joint? 15 records, all him. Yeah, he kind of stood on some like, yeah, y'all could, before you could probably say it's the features or whoever you on the song with, but this is me. I stood on just me and my bars on this one and he did that shit.
I mean, that's important to me if you're an artist and especially if you want your album to be some kind of statement. I think it's important that you limit features on it. And, I think that's part of the artistry is like, look, I'm giving you me. So when you really have a message to deliver, I think that's important, like, or one of the most pertinent things when you're trying to be a serious rapper.
Yeah. You're either going to bend or break. You get forced in the corner. Got to make some shit happen. And you did.
There's guys out there who literally can't put together a full project of just them or not. Like, you know, many people don't want to hear that.
That's true.
Right. You know,
that's true.
So if you can even do that, like, or start your way down that path is really showing that you're at least serious. It doesn't mean that you're great at it, right? But you're serious about the music. That's how I look at it from my perception.
Exactly. That's a good point because Gunna is one of the guys that I would have thought of that way before. In that I don't care to listen to just him. If you put a feature on there, it's somebody else I like, then I'm down to listen to it. The only song I listened to was the one that we checked out a couple weeks ago. And I like that one a lot. So I don't know. I don't know.
Real good. You listen to it.
Well, yeah, because you have to be talking about if that's your plan to do an album with no features, like, you have to be talking about
where you have an actual message.
Right. Yeah, you have to be. It can't just be
or perspective or something like that.
Yeah, something like conceptual albums and stuff like
Flex.
You have to have this stuff because otherwise you're gonna lose the audience. Yeah. It's got to be a story to be told here. It can't be generic. So yeah. I think again, this is important to me is to have in your rap catalog. So at least he has that.
I know we don't talk about it as much, but do you have any idea how much he sold?
I don't.
I'm just kind of curious.
No, I haven't seen any numbers.
I haven't seen nothing about that. But on that, with that being said, when his album dropped, Young Thug's page posted a link with a timer on it saying 5 days from now. So I'm guessing Thug got something dropping. I thought that was kind of weird.
5 days would be Wednesday, right?
Something like that.
That was on Friday?
Tuesday, maybe. Something like that, yeah.
I heard about this. I heard there was a bunch of people sharing it and
stuff.
But I don't know.
Then Gunna shared it on his page. He reposted it. So then just a lot of speculation, like, is it cool or what's the situation right now? But it seems kind of weird that he would be dropping something right after Gunna had dropped his album. It seems like you kind of like shitting on your artist, you know what I'm saying, first week sales or whatever. But I don't know. It might be all a play.
Has he still not said anything about? He still hasn't addressed anything.
I mean, he's still going through court, right. So you're not gonna say nothing. I mean, yeah, he's still fighting his case, so he hasn't said anything. But so it's weird that he dropping now right after Gunna drops his first release since being out. I mean, we're being ratting or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
He is out.
So yeah, I mean, he is out, but it's like it's weird. I don't know.
It's intriguing.
Odd timing.
Depends on what happens. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
It could end up being like
what was a diss joint?
Massive
what
bomb.
A diss joint on Gunna? That would be crazy.
It could be a huge bomb that's just like, all right, now Gunna might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Crazier things have happened.
Crazy.
Maybe, what if he put out a song with Gunna on it?
That would change the whole
Like,
narrative.
the whole narrative would be flipped. Like, I feel like
Change the whole narrative.
Doug is kind of in charge of Gunna's career at this point. Like, he holds the power. Either can
in all aspects, he's still signed to him. It's like
he holds everything.
his whole career is in fucking Thug's hands.
You're
right now.
free, but you're mine.
Yeah, shit is different. Shit is different.
He could make or break him, but
Who knows?
I'm curious.
Can't wait to see. I would like to see what happens though. What he putting out.
Y'all seen anything around this Melly case, YNW Melly case?
Yes.
That's underway?
One of the
Shit's
rap
wild.
accounts that I follow on Instagram is just updating everything that happens. So
Yeah.
I've seen a lot, but I've been trying to skip a lot of it.
Oh, a couple days
Anything
of
really
trial.
good? Well, not
I mean,
good, but you know what I'm
from
saying.
what I've seen thus far with it, man, I think he has a reasonable chance to beat the
Look
case.
like he might beat it.
Because the prosecution really doesn't have anything. They don't have the murder weapon.
It's
at
all
that point,
circumstantial.
yeah, it's all circumstantial. They don't have any real evidence to say that there's no reasonable doubt that Melly did this. You know, they don't have that information. So
The main two things that you need in a case like this is the gun and intent, and they don't have either one.
No,
They don't have either one.
Nothing clear. They have nothing clear. They have a couple statements that Melly may have made on social media that I'm not sure if it is being allowed into evidence yet. And then they have, the Murder on My Mind song, and that's not going to do anything for them. They do have the cell phone evidence or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't really, it's not a fucking, camera, so they don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's just it. So
He might get off.
interesting.
The death penalty is on the table for him.
The way he set it up, though, I'm like, yo, this dude actually did a pretty good job with this. Melly.
With murdering his friends?
I'm just saying, like, if you go do it,
What's wrong with this guy?
He did that shit pretty solid, bro. He handled that shit.
if you go do it,
You want to start a pod together?
Yeah,
Just me and you?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would do it, but
Nah, they're giving my man
if you go
props
do
for
it,
killing
he
two of his
created
friends.
nothing but reasonable doubt, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, he created a scenario where that's the only assumption that you can have, like, as far as, like, who did. Some people going to say he had to do it, and some people going to say, well, we don't have any. Well, most people going to say, yeah, he had to do it, but we don't have any proof that he did it. Like,
I thought there were two things that came out as evidence. I thought there was a text where he admitted to doing it, and a GPS tracking about him being at the location.
that's the
when it
phone.
happened.
That's the cell phone stuff is that they
they
say the cell phone,
What's
like
his name?
they have the data to show like he's the one who got out the car and went around the car in like a circle of motion and then got back in the vehicle. So, but again, does that mean he shot a gun while he did that?
Right.
No, you don't have, again, it's nothing but reasonable doubt. He could have been getting out to assess the damage at that point. You never know what, I feel like it's in the defense's hands now to win this trial. Cause again, they just don't have enough evidence. At least they can't even tell them what kind of gun shot at the car. I don't think
at all.
So, again, it's just a situation where they created for themselves where it's like,
He might fucking get
hey,
off.
he probably could walk free on this.
He might get off because they ain't got him. Nothing solid yet.
Yeah, if they ain't got it by now, this is,
Yeah.
what, that shit happened 3 years ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
So, hey.
Did you see Boosie was at the trial and when he left it, he was like at the courtroom.
He was at the Melly trial?
Yeah, he was there viewing the trial or whatever. He was there in the building.
I see he got arrested.
Walked out, got arrested by the feds because they said they seen he had a gun in IG Live he was in or something like that. He had a gun in his back hip or some shit like that. Of course, he's a convicted felon, so
Yeah, he's not allowed to have
not allowed to have no gun at all. So they locked him up for that. It was just kind of crazy. Not crazy, but it's just like, damn, like y'all was kind of on his ass.
Oh,
You know
so
what I'm
he's
saying?
a target though, but that's stupid for Boozy though. And it's like, I just recently saw an interview with him where they were asking him
He had a lot of good interviews recently.
about who's going if a gun is found in the car with you, what's going to happen. He's like, oh, my homeboy's going to take the charge. Like that's what they're there for. He's like, yo, they're going to take the charge. But
the
to
video
me, I feel
like he on like a John Morant video where he was like in the camera with it. It was like it was like some event going on and somebody had their IG Live on and he had it like tucked in his joint. He walked by the camera.
Oh, yeah.
It was on some shit like they had to really be focused on what the fuck he was doing to see, he got a gun on this hip type shit. So it wasn't like he was flexing the gun or nothing like that, which would be wild. But so it's really like, damn, that's crazy. They really on your ass. Like,
for sure.
You got to be careful out here, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. And I mean, they've been waiting, to get a motherfucker like Boosie locked up. So he been on all types of trials and shit over the course of his career. So
he's done in charge.
But I think rappers just get in interviews and talk too much and stuff like that. And I think Boosie is probably a victim of that, of himself, honestly.
No, I don't think he talk about himself like that. He don't put himself in those situations.
He was just in that interview talking about my homeboy's gonna take charge of my gun and all of this stuff. It's like, all right, well, I mean, they can use this.
I don't think it's the same thing as telling criminal stories about yourself.
You're telling what you would do in this situation. So like, he said exactly what he would do.
Sounds circumstantial.
I mean, it could, but it's all pieces that you would use in your case, though. It's like, this ain't the end all be all, but he just told you what he would do. So if you try to use that, it's like, oh, well, it's just clearly his weapon. Like, I mean, it's just something that the prosecution would use to convict the case. That's all I'm saying is you just giving them ammo in that case. And so rappers go into interviews and talk too much.
I ain't seen that Boosie area. He don't be telling on himself like that. He ain't trying to go back to the feds.
Well, he did.
But it wasn't nothing that he purposely did to make, you know what I'm saying?
He purposely carried a gun.
I mean, hey, cameras everywhere. What can you do?
Yeah, right. Well, that's all. I think is rappers. It's not quite the AR-AB situation, but it's just one of those moments in it. It's like, keeping it too real, going wrong. Type shit.
Keeping it real, going
Y'all
wrong.
seen the AR-AB shit, right? Where he's like, I know this dude when I listen to his music and he'd be like, yeah, I just killed the motherfucker. I know it because I seen him do it. He's like, yo.
That's totally different than That's a totally different situation. Boosie ain't doing that shit, bro.
No, right. Nobody's just saying on a lower level, less extreme. That's kind of a Boosie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe so. But
y'all got to see the AR-AB shit though. Like he got hella clips.
I've seen that clip before. I'm saying
because I seen him do it, and it was just like sitting there, like, yeah.
That's a good one, right? Keep going.
He was arrested a week later on some murder charges.
That's wild.
That is wild.
My guy put out an album last week.
Who's that?
That boy Wiz, man.
Oh yeah,
I know you said that shit was coming back or coming a couple weeks ago. His album. We had talked about it, I think, briefly a little bit, but not like.
I want to say maybe he put out a single or something.
No, he just announced that he was dropping out. I think we had talked about that a little bit.
Shit hard. I fuck with it.
Yeah,
he back on the shit again. I fuck with that album.
It's like the old style that you like?
Not really. It's a lot of like West Coast sounding beats on there, so it's a lot of West Coast vibes. But he experimented a little bit, but solid records to me. Mostly just him, not a lot of features. Usual suspects. Chevy Woods, of course.
Yeah.
And that's about it. A couple other people
still out here, huh?
Yeah, Chevy's still out here. Still Taylor Gang,
I think it's Chevy. The only time I think of Chevy Woods is when that comedian that we were talking about earlier, Roy Woods, pops up. Every time I see his name, I think Chevy Woods. It's literally the only time I think of that dude.
That's funny. But yeah, it's like 25 songs, a lot of records, but pretty solid.
25 songs.
It's a lot.
How long, time-wise, we got there on the album?
Sound like 20 songs too many.
Give me that 5-pack.
An hour and 5.
I mean, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
I can hang with an hour, but 25 is tough. I've always been like, I think Wiz is cool.
I'm indifferent.
I don't care about him. I don't dislike him. I like some songs, whatever.
Wiz is solid, man. Pretty consistent to me.
At this point, though, Wiz is a rapper who don't have to rap no more.
Superstar, pretty much superstar status.
He's if you
highest viewed video.
I don't know. I guess you could technically call Wiz a legend, right? He's a legendary rap figure.
I don't think of him as a legend.
You don't think of him that way, maybe.
But
like
he fits the majority of the category.
Right.
No, I'm with you.
Why not?
I'm with you.
He has the legend.
He has the hits in his.
He's got to be a legend.
He got the hits.
It's got one of the. I would say he's got like one of the top like cult followings that you can have, and he's also had massive hits.
Massive.
He was able to switch over into a Papa Lane, no big deal, and get featured on songs and stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's just super likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snoop of our era.
He really is. He really is. I got no problems with Wiz.
Yeah, solid record. Solid album like that. I think that's about it. There's a few
I had
singles.
a couple roommates in college that were the biggest stoners, biggest Wiz fans ever. It's all they played.
What a time.
And at the time,
what a time.
I was like, I don't get it. I don't really care about this music. And eventually it clicked and I was like, yeah, Wiz is kind of tight.
Yeah.
But I swear that was all they played.
It was a vibe.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong doing that.
Taylor gang shit was huge. Motherfuckers was really wearing Converse out here.
Yeah. The camos. Enjoy the sky. Damn.
Holy fuck.
That shit was loud.
Thunder was serious.
That sounds like somebody dropped some shit. Like, like, damn, no floors over top of us. It's
Shook
crazy.
the building a little bit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What else going on? Any other new music? Any other topics?
I think that's all I checked out for the most part. Oh, I did listen to Hit Boy and Big Hit, his pops. They put out a project together. That shit pretty hard.
Big Hit.
Big Hit. Big gangster.
Funny.
Big blood gangster. His pops. Just got out of jail, prison. Pay attention. But it's a solid album. They got the joint with Big Sean on there. It's pretty solid. Yeah, I might like.
Hit Boy, Big Hit, and Big Sean. That's confusing.
Yeah.
There's too
Shit
much.
hard, though. Shit hard, though.
That's what's up.
I think that was all I checked out this week. A lot of solid albums.
Yeah, I didn't listen to anything at all this week. I wasn't even looking to see what came out. Oh, other than Killer Mike, I did check out Killer.
Got to check.
Any music? Anything you want to talk about?
Nothing. No, I don't have anything from a music standpoint. No.
I was trying to find what the name of this was. I watched something else actually right before y'all had came over here. Fuck.
Oh, by the way, that 2C album, I see why you like it now.
Yeah.
This sounds like a bunch of fucking Rod Wave.
Yeah, it's fire.
instruments.
It's fire.
It's all of them sound like Rod Wave tracks to
It's
me.
fire.
The
album is fire.
Yo, my favorite song is the saddest song in the world. That's the
Tusi?
saddest song in the world.
By Tusi?
Yeah, that's a song that really like blew him up now.
I thought this was a new one. I don't know
like,
any of the names of his
is Rod
songs.
No,
Wave.
it's a new song.
But
it's like
I'd say I don't know any of the names of the songs.
my favorite song. It's like that's the one that's just spin
favorite
on
song. Yeah.
It's been on the radio all the fucking time. That shit is a sad. Like you want to like really drop your mood. Play that shit, bro. That shit go. It's a good song. It's a really good song.
Right.
But man, that shit is sad as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to it again. I
can
This is the saddest song in the world. Like you can feel your energy drop when that shit come on. You be like, damn, I'm sad already. That motherfucker just started.
Yeah, I was good on all that sadness. But I get it. I can see why you like to enjoy it. Definitely can hear it. I'm like,
I think he's a talented
I see where this is at. He's talented, but it's just,
It's my lane. It's my lane. I like these little singer rappers.
You kind of liked him before you even knew you liked him when I put you on that him and Lil Papa song.
Yeah, I mean, there's been multiple times like that where I see his name, I listen, and I'm like, oh, that shit was kind of tight. I should probably check him out more, and then I just don't. And the next one pops up, and it happens again. So at some point, I just need to listen to more of his music. But shout out Tusi.
Not bad.
All right, so this other joint, I found the name of it. It's called Mixed by Erry, ERRY. Some joint on Netflix.
Oh, it's a show.
It's a movie.
A movie.
It's a movie based on real life. Okay. It was from the 80s. This dude in Italy started making mixtape cassettes. And nobody else.
You mean based on a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. It's kind of along the same lines as like Blow and those type of movies where you're just seeing like the rise and fall of an empire kind of thing and some sort of product that they're pushing. Which is wild to see like the 80s of them. They were making these cassette mixtapes and just taking people's music, and they eventually found out that they had sold like 180 million cassettes, and within Italy, like financially, they were the biggest record label, even though they weren't a record label. Like they got massive. They were they kind of got ahead of the technology.
So was it other people's music, or were they actually making music?
No, they were just
always
they were
like
just basically
CDs.
burnt CD, but it was cassettes. And then within the movie, they do
that's highly illegal.
Introduce that the CDs were coming up, and they got ahead of the CD game too, and made a ton of money on that. They got locked up.
Yeah,
they got caught. Obviously, it's an Italian movie. Like it's dubbed like Money Heist is.
Okay,
but it was a cool watch. It was solid. I had never heard that story before. Interesting,
solid
music stuff.
That's how they got drama.
Yeah. But anyway, y'all got samples?
I do have samples.
I got one too. Yeah.
Damn, that was fast.
Super fast, right?
Shit.
We were rolling on some of those topics, just going into crazy left field on some stuff, but a good conversation.
It was.
Well, we got 3 samples coming for you then. So if you on YouTube, we appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week. If you're on the audio, stay tuned. Samples on the way.
Yeah.